this is not indicative of someone that was hit by a vehicle and thrown, what did they say, 30-something feet or somehow some ridiculous number, and a shoe was one shoe on, one shoe off. Like, come on, give me a break.
And there would be more injuries than just to the arm. The shoulder would be broken. Ribs would be broken. There'd be all kinds of manner of things. I mean, you could even sever the aorta or any number of organ issues. We don't have that here. Okay. Yeah. Another thing too. Judge Bev, lifeguard Bev. I'm not going to call her judge anymore because I'll call her lifeguard Bev. Okay, she's the lifeguard for the Commonwealth. She is doing so many things that I have never seen in a homicide trial. She's allowing the defense attorney to go beyond the scope in redirect, right? So after the cross comes redirect, and she allows him to meander out of those areas that he's not supposed to go into. She allows all manner of hearsay for the prosecution. Okay, it's just blowing my mind. None of these videos should have made it into the court trial. None of them, because you don't have the original file and you don't have the metadata for any of the videos from the Canton PD, Sallyport, and these other things. And these videos that we're seeing now that were of the parking lot at Canton PD, inside of Canton PD, with Higgins walking down the hall. All of these videos were on a flash drive in Proctor's desk drawer from before the trial, the first trial. Yeah. And never given over as discovery, and never, I mean, a Brady violation, the lawyers would say, as we say, it was hidden by Proctor. Okay. What else was hidden, right? And when we wait till we get to those videos from the Sallyport, wait till you see all of a sudden magically appearing in the photograph is the late chief of the Canton PD. And then one of the maintenance workers with a broom just pops into the video out of nowhere. Like he just, like Star Trek, he just materialized after being beamed down from Enterprise.
The crazy part about this, Ed, is that we heard, here in the retrial and also in the first trial, and in Karen Read 2.0 and Karen Read 1.0, we heard Trooper Proctor say in the text string between him and his sister and also other friends that this has to be clear cut and what did he say? A ground ball or something. This has to be, he has to make it as simple as possible. All eyes are on him. And that's some of the reason why you see, and we're seeing everything there was shortcuts done. They went and took the long way home.
These videos here of Higgins are important for the texting and the cell phone usage. And what did he go there for? Did he grab a Faraday bag? What was he doing there? Was he cleaning up? Did he change some clothes? What was he doing there? Because he goes back out, cleans off a couple cars, and then gets in his Jeep and he drives off. Okay, so let's play with the cross-examination where Proctor is in the back corner of that, what on this looks like the left side of the car, but in reality, because this is inverted, it's the right side. It's the area where the tail light is that
in this video
damaged.
Right. Let's listen to this.
And what you previously said, and we'll get to subsequent testimony in a second, you previously indicated that the person to the right was you, person to the left, Michael Proctor, correct?
Yes, previously I identified that being Michael Proctor. I was mistaken. That is not me on the right.
That would be the tow truck driver, correct?
That's correct.
That is, in fact, Michael Proctor, however, in the two-tone jacket, correct?
I believe so.
Okay. And as the video is portrayed, at least as we're looking at it, and I'll get to the next question next, as we're looking at it, it appears that we're looking at the right passenger side of the vehicle, as it appears in this video, correct?
That's correct.
And you see a timestamp and a date stamp on the bottom, right?
It is present. I don't know what it says.
Okay, can we highlight that just a little bit? Can you see what that says?
I believe it says interior, Sally Port, back wall,
Okay,
537, maybe.
okay. When you indicated that this was a fair and accurate depiction of the interior Sally Port when the SUV was brought in, you were specifically asked whether or not you or Michael Proctor approached or manipulated or touched the right rear taillight area of the vehicle, correct?
I don't remember the exact verbiage used, but in something along those lines, that's what was asked.
Okay, so there's a timestamp here, 5:31. You can see the flatbed being pulled in. If we can trust this, because as I said, no original file, no metadata. Okay, and getting back to what he testified to in the first trial, the prosecutor, different prosecutor, Lally,
Adam Lally.
yeah, he asked again, is this a fair and accurate representation of the Sally Port and what was going on inside of it? And they said yes. And the answer should always be in this case, no, because it's inverted. Okay. And now going forward on his direct testimony, Sergeant Uri here, he was asked the same question by the prosecutor, this time Brennan. And again, he says yes, but Brennan knows that it's inverted. So how can it be a fair and accurate representation if it's inverted? Okay, but yet he testifies. So I pose to you that Lally and Brennan have suborned perjury twice. Okay, they know that it's not a fair and accurate representation.
And then
But they're allowing their witnesses to testify that it is.
It was shown at a prior proceeding, correct?
Yes, it is.
Does it appear to be the interior of the Sally Port at Canton PD?
Yes, it is.
And this is what you were questioned about regarding the SUV being pulled into the Sally Port, correct?
Yes.
From a time frame standpoint, just the time frame, this is right after the SUV has been driven in from the flatbed after having been seized in Dighton, correct?
Yes, it was driven off of the flatbed after transportation from Dighton to Canton PD and driven into the Sally Port.
All right. You previously have identified individuals in this video, in this still shot, correct?
Yes.
And what you previously said, and then we'll get to subsequent testimony in a second, you previously indicated that the person to the right was you, person to the left, Michael Proctor, correct?
Yes, previously I identified that being Michael Proctor. I was mistaken. That is not me on the right.
That would be the tow truck driver, correct?
That's correct.
Now, folks, if you look at what looks like the left arm of Proctor, the left arm down where the hand would be, he's holding what appears to be a rectangular item. If you remember the photograph from the hospital of the clothing on the floor, to the left of the clothing on a chair is the trooper's padfolios that has a legal pad in it where they write their notes. It's the kind that it has a zipper and it closes. And so he's holding that in his left, it's really his right hand, but it's shown here as the left hand.
As we're looking at it, it appears that we're looking at the right passenger side of the vehicle, as it appears in this video, correct?
That's correct.
And you see a timestamp and a date stamp on the bottom, correct?
It is present. I don't know what it says.
Okay, can we highlight that just a little bit? Can you see what that says?
I believe it says interior, Sally Port, back wall,
Okay,
537, maybe.
okay. When you indicated that this was a fair and accurate depiction of the interior Sally Port when the SUV was brought in, you were specifically asked whether or not you or Michael Proctor approached or manipulated or touched the right rear taillight area of the vehicle, correct?
I don't remember the exact verbiage used, but in something along those lines, that's what was asked.
And you indicated that neither of you did, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. This video is backward, correct?
Yes, it is a mirror image of what is actually taking place as recorded by the camera.
Can we play this forward? Yes. You see where Mr. Proctor, let's go ahead and pause it. You see where Mr. Proctor went.
Yes, the video depicts him going to that portion of the vehicle, but we can't tell how close he is.
Okay. From all appearances, importantly, it appears to be the back driver's side, back left of the vehicle, correct?
That's the way it appears, yes.
Okay, in the sergeant's testimony, he says he never left Proctor, or Proctor was always within eyesight. But the sergeant is nowhere in any of this video. So where's the sergeant?
He's
Okay.
MIA.
Yeah. So but he testified after this that he was never Proctor was never alone. I mean, they had an opportunity to photograph that light right then.
Can I ask you to pay special note to the far rear
Nobody cared to.
side of the vehicle?
Ron, take your mouse and put it over the right rear corner by the roof on the other side. That's Proctor's head, everybody. That's Proctor's head. Keep an eye on that roundish area there. That's the head of Proctor.
Do you see what appears to be Mr. Proctor's head?
Yes.
As the tow truck driver walks past the rear of the vehicle, can you watch and tell me if you see Mr. Proctor do anything or move in any way? Let's go ahead and play it forward. Pause. Did you see any volitional movement by Mr. Proctor as the tow truck driver moved past him?
Yes, it appears that that is his head. It shifted weight.
Okay. Let's go ahead and play it forward. Stop.
Now, did you see that?
Person that
Did you
appears to morph
Yeah.
toward the back of the vehicle, right there.
Watch this guy appear out of
There's no
nowhere.
anomaly there with the footage, so it could possibly be used to describe that what took place.
Watch this guy disappear, folks. As it's like it starts from the ground up.
Did you see any volitional movement by Mr. Proctor as the tow truck driver moved past him?
Yes, it appears that that is his head. It shifted weight.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm going slow.
Okay, and it just materializes in the image out of nowhere.
Yeah. Pretty wild.
So, at first glance, it looks to me like this has been manipulated. Okay, let's move on because you're going to see another. I want you to continue to look where you see the bicycles on the wall over here.
A guy
And-
appeared over here.
Yeah, you're going to see another guy just appear over there.
What does it appear that Mr. Proctor does at this point in the video?
He's walking.
Okay. Do you see anything in his hand?
I cannot tell from the video, but that he might be carrying something.
Remember we looked previously at a portfolio, black portfolio. Does it appear that he may have a black portfolio in his hand?
That is very likely, but I don't know exactly what he's carrying.
Okay, let's go ahead and play this forward.
There he is.
Boom. Here's the other guy, disappears.
The right-hand side of the screen toward the front of the SUV as well?
Yes, it appears that way, yes.
Okay. And did it appear that somebody just appeared at the front right?
All right. So here's it corrected.
That's the corrected. You can see the word police clearly on the old cruiser there.
Pause.
Okay. That's the driver taking the picture of the front of the car, the tow truck driver.
Right. He almost falls too. He slips here in the front.
Yeah.
Is the footage, the way that is depicted right now, is very accurately depicts or very accurately represents what I remember from being there.
In fact, this side of the vehicle that we're looking at that's closest to us, that I'm highlighting on the screen to your right, that is in fact the driver's side of the vehicle, not the passenger side of the vehicle. Is that correct?
That is correct.
The far side over here would be the right rear of the vehicle, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, also, it said that the chief of police was out sick at this time. So why was he at the station?
Yeah.
Remember, this chief drove by the scene, and while he was driving by the scene, found a piece of the lens.